Hello, this is Math Sci Listens, and here we cover topics various in math and science. And today we're going to be talking about slope of a straight line graph. We're going to talk basically about how to calculate the slope and go through a couple example problems. And after going through those problems, we'll give you, some basic knowledge of slope so you can do even more complicated problems in the future. So slope is basically rate of change, basically how much something is changing in a graph. And at the graph, as you can see, we have a graph here. So this is the x, which is corresponding to this chart here, and the y, which is corresponding to these values here. So 1 is 2, 2, 4, 2, 4, 4, 8, 3, 6, etc. And then the slope can be used, for rate of change, as we said. And the most common example is speed. So speed would be miles per hour, and that's one application of it. And in the future videos, we will go into more detail about that. But yeah, for now, you can use that as a way to understand what's going on here. So the slope for a straight line can be defined as rise over run. Now the rise here is this, how much it increases here. And the run here is this, from the x values, and the rise is from the y values. And when you do these calculations, its rise will be defined as y2 minus y1. Run is defined as x2 minus x1. And the slope is the rise divided by the run here to give you the rate of change of the graph. And the 2 is the value on the most right. So the y2 corresponds to the value of x2, and x2 will be the most rightward one here. So we can go through a couple examples that can kind of show you what we're talking about here. So for the first question, find the slope between x1 and x2. And if you want, you could do these, pause the video and do these on your own, and then come back to the video and we'll show you how to solve those questions. So we'll start with this number 1. So x2 here is 2. So x2 equals to 2. Now looking at this table, we know that the y value for 2 is 4. So y2 equals 4. Now x1 is 1 and y1 will be 2. So x1 1, y1 2. Okay, so now we have the formula here, or we can just plug in these numbers very quick. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 equals 4 minus 2 over 2 minus 1, which is 2, hold on, 2 over 1, which equals to 2. Now keep this value in mind. We're going to compare the answers here, and you might notice a pattern. So for number 2, x2 is 4, x2 4, and you can look at the graph here and see that y2 equals to 8. And then x1 will be 2, and y2, as you can see, will be 4. y1 will be 4. So x1 is 2, y1 is 4. And then you can plug these into the equations. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, you get 8 minus 4 over 4 minus 2. This equals 4 over 2, which is 2. Now you notice that these two values are the same, and if you do these, if you want to, you could do 3 and 2 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 1, and you'll notice that every time you do it, you'll get the same answer. And this is because a straight line graph always increases at the same rate. It's never changing in shape. It's just straight. So no matter what 2 points you pick, the slope between those 2 points will always be 2. Now you wonder, what does that mean, 2? It means for every corresponding change in one value of x, the y value changes by 2. So you see here, y1, here 2 for 1, and then 2, 4, so increase by 2. 2 to 3, and then 4 to 6, 3 to 4, 6 to 8. So for this situation, it increases by 2. Now it could be, the slope could be 3 for a different graph, 4, etc. But the point here is that for a straight line graph, you have to remember that the slope should always be the same. So if you're doing questions for homework and you notice that you're getting different answers and it's supposed to be a straight line graph, that means you made a mistake. So that's a good way to remember. And with the slope, you can use the slope to build an equation that can predict values on a graph if you're not, don't know what the value is. So if you wanted to predict, let's say if we made x is 5, we would say it's 10, right? So you can use the slope to make that prediction. And in the future videos, we're going to go into what the equation is and how we can use the slope to help build the equation. But for now, you could remember, the takeaway is that slope is rise over run, slope is rate of change, and on a straight line graph, the slope should always be the same between any 2 points. And with that said, this is Math Sci Lessons, and please subscribe and like the channel and share the video to anyone who might find it useful, and tune in for another video in the future. Thank you.